Happy learning everyone! Please like and subscribe to my first video. I will be discussing for today the subject English 6, weeks 1 to 2 for the second quarter. Learning competency, distinguish various types of informational or factual text. Objective is to distinguish various types of informational or factual text. Let's have first a short review of our previous lesson from our first quarter. Identify the visual elements defined in each sentence. Choose your answer from the box and write it on the blank provided. Question number 1. It refers to where the figure in the image is looking. What is it? Number 2. They can be used to represent ideas or concepts. They can be used to represent ideas or concepts. Number 3. They are used to suggest shape, pattern, form, structure, growth, depth, distance, rhythm, movement, and a range of emotions. Number 4. It is the presentation of visual elements in an image or layout in relation to the main subject. Number 5. It is the distance between the viewer and the subject. Let's check if you've got the correct answer. The answer for number 1 is gaze, number 2 symbols, number 3 lines, number 4 framing, and number 5 social distance. If you've got a perfect score, then congratulations. You have a sharp memory. Informational text is defined as text with the primary purpose of expressing information about the arts, sciences, or social studies. This text ranges from newspaper and magazine articles to digital information, to non-fiction trade books to textbooks and reference materials. There are specifically 4 types of informational text: literary non-fiction, expository, argument or persuasion, and procedural. The first type of informational text is literary non-fiction. Literary non-fiction includes shorter text, such as personal essays, speeches, opinion pieces, essays about art or literature, biographies, memoirs, journalism, and historical, scientific, technical, or economic accounts, including digital sources, written for a broad audience. Autobiographies, biographies, other narrative nonfiction, informational picture books, and informational poetry often fit into this category. Narrative informational text typically communicates accurate information and has a well-defined beginning, middle, and end. Here is an example of a literary nonfiction, an autobiography. The second type of informational text is an expository text. Expository text utilize various text structures such as description, cause and effect, comparison and contrast, problem and solution, question and answer, and temporal sequence. Here is an example of an expository text. It utilizes various text structures such as description, cause and effect, comparison and contrast, and problem and solution. The third type of informational text is an argument or persuasion text. An argument or persuasion text provide evidence with the intent of influencing the beliefs or actions of the target audience. This text typically include claims, evidence, and warrants to explain how the evidence is linked to the claims. Writers of persuasion or argument also make appeals. Appeals to the author's credibility, to the audience's needs, or to reason and evidence. Here is an example of an argument or persuasion text. Homework should be banned. These texts provide an evidence with the intent to persuade the readers. The fourth type of informational text is procedural text. Procedural text provides step-by-step guidelines that describe how to complete a task. They often include a materials needed section and graphics that illustrate the process. Here is an example of a procedural text. So this is a step-by-step guide on how you're going to wash your hands. Here are the references for our discussion. We are going to read a text entitled Collecting Coins. Here are some of the vocabulary words that we're going to encounter as we read the text. Collecting. Systematically seek and acquire items of a particular kind as a hobby. Engrave. Cut or carve a text or design on the surface of a hard object. Penny, a 1-cent coin equal to 1/100th of a dollar. Hobby, an activity done regularly in one's leisure time for pleasure. Rare, not found in large numbers and consequently of interest or value. Nickel, a 5-cent coin, 5 cents. Dime, a 10-cent coin. Quarter, 25 cents, 1/4 of a dollar. Collecting coins. Harold had never really thought about money as anything other than paper and metal that bought stuff. Then, as he sat waiting for his mother to pick him up one day, he absently looked over the coins in his pocket. They were actually kind of cool. There was so much detail. There were dates on the coins and famous people's faces. Then the values were shown with words and numbers. Often, coins had some sort of engraving and some slogans. Some coins had animals, places, or famous buildings on them. It really depended on what coin you looked at. Those few moments of looking at some pennies and quarters were enough to get Harold hooked. He wanted to know more about coins. He wanted to collect them. He started with a small box in his dresser, but that quickly became too small for all the different pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, half-dollars, and dollar coins he collected. The next step was international coins. It was cool to see coins from other countries. They didn't always use dollars either. Some countries used pounds, francs, yen, won, or euros. It seemed that every country had another name for its money. They also had different faces, shapes, and colors on their coins. Harold really liked the two-color coins from places like Canada and Hong Kong. After that, Harold started trading coins online and building up his collection. When his family and friends traveled, he asked them to bring back a pocket of small coins. He started getting tons of money that way, and some of them were worth a lot because they were rare, especially old coins. His grandparents even had a few old coins they shared with him on his birthdays. It was quite a hobby, collecting coins. Some people collected stamps, dolls, or baseball cards, but he liked coins. Even the smell of all that metal made him smile. He was really into coins. The good thing about it, too, was that you could spend it if you really wanted to, but they were fun to look at as well. Let us now use the information in the story to answer the questions below. Number 1. What is Harold's hobby? A. Painting. B. Playing sports. C. Collecting coins. D. Collecting butterflies. What's the correct answer? Of course, it's letter C, collecting coins. Number 2. How did Harold get into the hobby? Letter A. His friends got him into it. Letter B. He found his lucky penny. C. He was given a special coin by his dad. Letter D. He was bored and looked at the coins in his pocket. What's the answer? It's letter D. Good job. Number 3. Which of these is a kind of money not mentioned in the story? A. Won, B. Lira, C. Yen, D. Dollars. It's letter B. Lira. Number 4. Harold really liked what kind of coins from Canada and Hong Kong? Is it letter A, 2-color coins, B, sandwich coins, C, copper pennies, D, hexagonal coins? What's the answer for number 4? It's letter A. It's 2-color coins. And number 5. Which of this is not something the story says you might find on coins? A, faces, B, dates, C, cartoons, D, numbers. What is it? Of course, it's letter C, cartoons. If you've got a perfect score, then you did a great job. So what type of informational text is collecting coin? So collecting coins is a literary non-fiction. Let's read the following paragraphs and identify the main idea and what type of informational text we're going to read. Write your answer in the organizer, and then the first one is already done for you. Paragraph 1. Throwing garbage all over the place will not only dirty our surroundings and pollute the environment, making it very unhygienic, but also causes bad odors and encourages the infestation of cockroaches, flies, and other insects. There are various diseases caused due to poor maintenance of hygienic conditions. Paragraph 2. First, wet your hands with plenty of clean water. Second, cover all the surfaces of your hands in soap and rub the palms together to form a lather. Make sure to rub the palm one hand over the back of the other hand, making sure to clean in between your fingers. Repeat with the other hand. Rub the palms together again, and also clean in between the fingers again. Also, rub the backs of the fingers against the opposite palm, interlocking the fingers as you do this. Next, grasp the thumb of one hand with the other hand and rotate the closed hand around the thumb to clean it. Repeat with the other thumb and hand. Then rub the tips of the fingers of one hand on the palm of the other hand. Repeat with the other hand. Rinse the hands under clean running water. Dry them thoroughly, ideally with a disposable towel. Alternatively, allow them to air dry. Lastly, use the towel, if you have one, to turn off the top and then dispose of it. Paragraph 3. The importance of good and clean environment cannot be described adequately. According to many scientists, the factor which influences the growth of individuals most is environment. Every household generates waste or garbage, which should not be thrown anywhere and everywhere, but also in trash bins. It was shocking to see some residents leave their trash bags outside the main door of the garbage chute. In the passage, in spite of a notice that clearly indicates the procedures to be followed. Even worse, some residents just throw the open bags with contents spilling all over the place. We know for a fact that the habits learned or followed at a young age get embedded into one's personality. It is very important, therefore, that adults set an example at home for children and are taught clean disposal of waste from home. Paragraph 4. Rodrigo Duterte, also called Digong, born March 28, 1945, Maasin, Philippines. Filipino politician who was elected President of the Philippines in 2016. On June 30, 2016, Duterte was inaugurated as President of the Philippines. In his first 6 months in office, more than 6,000 people were killed in Duterte's war on drugs. Paragraph 5. Just like visible light, infrared light, and radio waves, ultraviolet light is electromagnetic radiation. On the spectrum, ultraviolet light lies between violet light and X-rays with wavelengths ranging from 4 to 400 nanometers. Although it is undetectable to the naked eye, anyone who has been exposed to too much sunlight has probably noted the effects of ultraviolet light, for it is this radiation that causes tanning, sunburn, and can lead to skin cancer. Identify the word or words being described in each sentence. Choose your answer from the box and write it on the blank provided. This type of informational text utilizes question and answer and problems and solution. What is this? Number 2. It includes biographies, memoirs, journalism, and historical, scientific, technical, or economic accounts. Number 3. It includes claims, evidence, and warrants to explain how the evidence is linked to the claims. Number 4. This text type provides step-by-step guidelines that describe how to complete a task. Number 5. It is defined as text with the primary purpose of expressing information. Congratulations for completing your first module. See you on our next English lesson. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.